Hey everyone, Sam from Manfus Makes. So today I will be mainly answering your questions to what you put in the comments on my What Would You Like to Know video. We'll get more into that in a second. So I hope you have had a lovely week. My week has been busy. I've been a little under the weather, as I've told you. I am starting to perk up now. I'm still not 100%, but I'm much better than what I was. Yesterday we enjoyed a lovely day at a theme park, all 6 of us together, so that was nice to get out in the fresh air and the children to have some fun on the rides and the attractions. So yes, I haven't been around over the last couple of days very much, but we're all good. And I just have a few things to discuss before we get into the questions. So firstly, I would like to draw your attention to my earrings. I received these in the post today. Today is February the 26th, 2022. I went to the post box and there was a little package and I thought, I can't remember ordering anything. So I took it out and I opened it. And I remembered that it was these earrings. Now, I saw these earrings on Instagram.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa is talking to me and I didn't even ask her to. Okay, and she's now stopped. So when I opened the package, I saw these earrings. I initially saw these earrings on Instagram. They are homemade, handmade by the lovely Amy. I have been in touch with Amy and asked if I have permission to give you guys her details and share where other people can find her. So if these are something that you're interested in, I will give you all the details in just a second. But I absolutely fell in love with them because they look like flump marshmallows. How cute are they? Let me just take one up and hold it up to the camera for you. Look at those. Aren't they just so cute and gorgeous? So I think they're made from polymer clay. You can definitely feel that you've got them in your ears, but they are not super heavy to the point where you feel like your neck's gonna give way. So I just fell in love with them. And so let me tell you a little bit about the person who made them. So she's called Amy, but her name on Instagram is Crafty Tosh. And it says handmade with a hug. And there are her Facebook details, her Instagram details, and her email address. I'll just leave it there a second longer in case you want to write it down. So for me in the UK, I actually paid £10 for these earrings, and that does include shipping. So the price I paid, that would be $13.40 for the USA, $17.04 for Canada, and $18.55 for Australia. Oops, sorry. Now I've spoken to Amy and she is prepared to ship them internationally. For these earrings specifically, she will charge £15 including shipping. So that's only an extra £5 more than what I paid, which I think is an absolute bargain. So if you did want to get hold of Amy and you did want to order these earrings for yourselves, that would be $20.10 for USA, $25.56 for Canada, and $27.82 for Australia. Now, when you go to her Instagram page, she has lots of other lovely products that she is happy to sell as well. But you would have to speak to her direct as to the cost of what they would be and how much they would cost to sell or to ship to you, sorry, because I've literally just got the price for these earrings because these are the only products of her that I own at the moment, but I can see myself going back and maybe purchasing other things from her as well. So sorry to bore you to start off with something that isn't yarn or crochet related, but I did just think they were super, super cute. I mean, they do look incredibly yummy and good enough to eat. Even my children thought they were real. So yeah, so those are my earrings, love them. And as luck would have it, I chose to wear this jumper today, so it matches this jumper, super lovely. So that was Amy at Crafty Tosh. I hope you were able to write down those details. If not, pause the video and then you've got her details there. So that's my earrings. Now, the second thing I wanted to discuss before we got on to the questions is in my playlist, you will see a video talking about this book. Now, returning subscribers, you might remember this video, especially if you've watched all of them. New subscribers, hi, welcome in. You're always super welcome. If you would like to have a look at this video in my playlist, please do so, but obviously after you've finished watching this one. And the reason why I'm bringing up this video is I think at the end of my last video that I posted this week, I hinted that I had something special in the pipeline with another YouTube content creator. And we are going to do a bit of a collaboration. Now, I am not going to tell you all of the details. All I'm going to tell you is that it involves this book, which we both own. I'm here in the UK and she is over in the US. And we are going to be doing something together on both of our channels regarding this book. And the content creator, some of you may be familiar with, it is the absolutely beautiful Christina from Bella Uncinetto. So if you are not a subscriber to Christina at Bella Uncinetto, please look down in the description box and I will have her channel linked. I would be very grateful if you could go over and become a member of her family, because then you will be able to see her videos regarding this as well as my videos regarding this. Now, we haven't actually set a date as yet, but as soon as we do, we will both come on our channels and we will explain a little bit more about our plans for our collaboration involving this book. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm super excited. Bella is, Christina. She doesn't mind being called Bella though, because Bella means beautiful in Italian. So she likes being called beautiful all the time. And who wouldn't? Because she is beautiful. So Christina and I will be working together and we will let you know as soon as we can, when we've finalised all the details. So keep your eyes peeled. Thank you for that. Now then, the whole point of this video is to answer the questions that you put on my What Would You Like to Know video. There is going to be a mini giveaway at the end, and at the end will be when I disclose what items I will be sending to you in the giveaway and what's going to happen. But we need to get started on these questions because I've got 23 of them. So grab yourself a drink. I've got myself a lovely cup of tea in my Born Sassy Flamingo mug. And we are going to work through these questions. Thank you ever so much to those of you who took the time to leave a question. Absolutely fine those that didn't. Just to make it crystal clear, there are questions that several of you have asked pretty much the same question. All of your entries count. So whether it's the same question as somebody else has asked, it doesn't matter. You will still be entered into the giveaway. And some of you have asked more than one question. That will just be one entry. So even if you ask me a couple of things, it is just one entry. And what I've done is I've gone to the comments on that video, and as I've seen the questions come in, I have written them on my notepad, and as you can see, I've put your name, what the question was, and a number next to you. And all of them are on here, all the way up to 23. And at the end, I will ask my electronic thing in the corner, my electronic friend, to pick which number will win. So we'll get there in just a moment. So please sit back with your brew, which is what we English call a hot drink, but any drink will do, as this might take a little while and I've already been on for 9 minutes. So let's get started. So the first question, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notepad. The first question is from the gorgeous Ursula, who is OMGrannySquare. Any content creator who has taken the time to ask me a question and who I mention in this video, I will put a link to their channel in the description box. So the first one is Ursula at OMGrannySquare, and she asks me, how do you recharge or have me time, as some would put it? Now, I think somebody else has asked that, and when we get to it, I will explain that this is probably going to be a similar answer, but like I said, you'll still be included. So, Ursula, to recharge, I am the type of girl who would live in her pyjamas all day long if she could. I love nothing more than to get comfortable in my pyjamas, wrap up in my dressing gown and slippers, and just cozy down on the sofa and either watch a movie with my boys or watch some television with Mike, sit and curl up and read a book, sit and watch your guys' videos on my phone while I crochet. My crochet was my me time when I was working. Now that I'm not working, it's even more my me time, because even though most of it is now to have content for you guys to watch, I love crochet that much that I consider it to be my me time. Occasionally, you know, I will need quiet and just, you know, time by myself, and I ask Mike to go and take the children somewhere to keep them occupied for an hour or two, just so that I can have some quiet and some peace, and then I can recharge. And then when they're back, I'm energized again and I'm wanting to get back involved again. I'm not the type of person to soak in a bath. I'm not the type of person to go out a lot, actually. So my me time is just doing what I love inside these four walls. Sometimes with other members of my family, but sometimes by myself. And I hope that answered your question. She also asks, if you lose your crojo, how do you get it back? Now, this is really tricky because I have had periods of time where I have lost my crojo. Normally when I've lost my crojo, I will watch some of you guys on your videos, see what you've been making, see what yarn you've been using, see what yarn you've been buying, to try and get some inspiration and try and get some enthusiasm and see if there is something that I would like to try that you are doing. So that's one thing I try and do. Another thing I try and do is I try and go through my pattern folders that I've got here, or my pattern books, and see if there's anything that takes my fancy and gets me itching to get my crochet hooks back. I also search Pinterest. Pinterest is a massive rabbit hole. I can be down that hole for hours. And YouTube and Ravelry, Etsy, that sort of thing, just to inspire me, just to see if there's something that really sort of wets my whistle and gets me eager to crochet again. But sometimes I just let my crojo go. I just let it ebb and flow as it will, because if you force something and you're not enjoying it, it's not going to be your best work. That's my opinion. If you do it because you feel you have to, you're not going to put your heart into it. And again, it's not going to be your best work. And sometimes we do just need to, you know, crochet free time. And I don't see it as a negative, and I don't see it as something that is a problem. If it goes on for longer than, say, a week or two, then I really do try and give myself a kick up the backside and try and get myself motivated a little bit harder. But I don't worry about it too much, and I just try and find inspiration from others around me. So again, I hope that answers your question. And then next is the lovely Linda Simpson. She asks, what profession did you have before becoming a mum? Well, Linda, I have not had a career per se. I have had several little jobs before I became a mum. So a little bit of back history. I actually became a mum when I was just 20, which is quite young. Let me try and unravel it. So I didn't do A-levels at school, but I did a BTEC National Diploma, which is an A-level equivalent. And I did that in nursery nursing and childcare. I qualified in that with, you know, quite decent grades. And then I thought that I wanted to become a primary school teacher. So I enlisted into university, just a local one, so I could still come home every day. And I stuck out university for all of 7 months. Now, it wasn't university that I didn't enjoy. I realised fairly quickly into the teaching qualification that it just wasn't for me. So I would have to be at university for at least 3 years, and it wouldn't be until the 3rd year that I would actually physically go to classrooms and train in front of an actual class, teaching an actual class. Leading up to that, it was 2 years of how to make lesson plans, how to do relevant paperwork, and I didn't feel that I was actively in the role of teaching, and it just wasn't a quick enough entry into that as I would like. So I dropped out of university after 7 months, much to the disgruntlement of my parents. Sorry, mum and dad. And I always intended to go back. I never made it back, but I always did intend to. And who knows, maybe I will in the future. You now can go to university at any age, so that door isn't firmly shut. But when I left university, so in between A-levels and university, I had little part-time jobs. At some point I worked in a fish and chip shop. I think that was just Saturdays. I also did a lot of pub work. I was a waitress, and then when I turned 18, I was legally allowed to be behind the bar serving pints. So I did a lot of pub jobs. I secured another pub job when I was just finishing being 18, going into being 19, and that is where I met the boys' dad. Myself and the boys' dad had quite a shotgun romance. We were engaged and pregnant, expecting my first within 6 months of knowing each other. So then my first child came along in 2007 when I was 20. My second child came along in 2010, and my third came in 2012. So there's only about 2 years, 4 months between all three. In between having the 3 boys, I was home all day, did like the preschool and nursery runs, was a stay-at-home mum with them during the day, while their dad went out to work and did various jobs over the course of our relationship during the day. But then he would come home at like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I would go and do a shift at the pub working behind the bar. So I was a barmaid primarily when my children were small. So it's been mostly pub work, to be fair. I then finally used my qualification that I got back at A-level stage, and I worked at a local preschool for a little while. I found that very difficult because actually when I got the preschool job, my marriage started to disintegrate. We were not happy for a good couple of years before we eventually called it quits. And then after he left, I realised that I couldn't fulfil the work hours that I was contracted to do. I was emotionally distraught and upset, as you can imagine, at the disintegration of my marriage. So my work standard was not at its best, and so it was decided that maybe I was to step away from the preschool and find other employment. So I then became a purchase ledger in a builder's merchants, dealing with invoicing and things like that within the company, doing all the admin duties to that, and I really enjoyed that job. That was the job I got just before I started my YouTube channel, and I was there for the best part of 3 years. Didn't quite make it 3 years, but nearly. But the workload and a few other factors meant that I had to step away from that position for myself. I had a bit of a mini meltdown and my mental health was suffering, and I had to step away from that, and that's when I came into the YouTube world. So yes, I've had lots of different jobs. My first job being when I was about 11 years old as a paper round, but I didn't really do the paper round. I used to get my papers delivered to me, and then my mum, bless her, she would either walk around, push them through the doors for me, and I'd still get the money, or if it was a really rainy day, she would drive me around in her car for me to deliver them, and I'd still get all the money. I mean, well, how many parents would allow that, and how many parents would facilitate that? But my mum did. She's absolutely awesome. She still is. So yeah, I've done a variety of jobs. So I've never really had a career. It's always been sort of what I call filler inner jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just they won't turn into anything bigger or better or career sized. So it's just been little part-time jobs for a bit of pocket money to top up the income. That's about it, really. So I hope that answered your question, Linda. And then we've got Michelle Jensen. She asks, do I have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have one brother. He is 2 years younger than me. He lives fairly locally to me, probably about a 5-10 minute drive. Unfortunately, myself and my brother are two completely different people. We are chalk and cheese, and unfortunately that means that we have quite a strained and tumultuous relationship. We are not close. We do not spend an awful lot of time together. He lives his life and I live mine. He has a gorgeous little boy who is my nephew, and he has another baby soon to be born. I get to see my nephews when we all come together as a family, like if we go to my parents for Christmas or special occasion meals, things like that. But other than family events and family occasions, we kind of stick to our own lives doing our own things, because it's better for us and everyone around us, you know, if we're not together that often. So although he's my brother and I love him dearly, we just are not compatible. We just do not get on, and it's better that, you know, we just do our own thing. So yes, I have one brother. She also asks, what is your favourite colour? I know you love rainbows, but if you had to choose just one, what would it be? Now, when I'm standing in or sitting in front of my yarn wall, I always feel like I have to whisper so as not to offend all the other colours. And I know that's ridiculous because they're just balls of yarn. But if I had to pick just one, it would be pink. Now, I know there's a lot of content creators out there who absolutely hate pink, but I am a pink lover. There has to be somebody in the world that loves pink, and I'm one of them. So yes, pink would be my first choice, closely followed by purple. Another colour that I couldn't do without in my life is green, actually. So those would be my top three, but primarily pink. What month were you born in? I was born in March. My birthday is the 22nd of March. So it's only a few weeks off. So yes, I'm a spring baby. In fact, I was born the second day of spring. So yeah, that's that one. And who is your hero? Now, I don't want this to sound cliche and I don't want it to sound cheesy, but honestly, my heroes are my parents. They have inspired me my whole life. They are what I aspire to be. They have been together for 30 plus years, going on for 40 years. They are still as in love today as they were when they met. They have stood by each other through thick and thin. They are each other's soulmate and their biggest cheerleader to each other. They are everything I wanted in my adult life, in my relationship. It didn't turn out that way, unfortunately, but they really are my heroes. And actually, we have had some tough times as a family over the years, as I'm sure every family does. But they always get each other through it. They always get, you know, me through it, my brother through it, whoever it involves. We all just come together as a family and we get each other through it. And I would be lost without them. They are literally my rocks, and I can't imagine a life without my parents in it. So yeah, they're my heroes. And then Zara Tabassum, one of my last giveaway winners. Hi Zara, glad that your parcel arrived in India. She asks, with kids around and daily chores, when is your me time? So I've told you what I do in my me time. But I do try and grab some me time every single day. Now, I don't want that to come across as sounding selfish or like I'm some kind of princess that demands it, because that's not how it is. I just think that everybody, if they can, should find a little window of time just for them in every single day, because it really helps to ground you back, you know, get you grounded and rooted again, gets your mindset back into focus, and it really, really helps. I am the type of person who always puts everybody else's needs, wants, requests before my own. Everybody else in my family is my top priority before myself. I am the bottom of the list. But Mike actually was the one who came into my life 4 years ago and showed me that actually, if I don't look after me and if I don't take time for me, then everyone else around me suffers. Not in a bad way, but just if I am not 100% recharged and myself, then I cannot give as much of myself or give as much of my energy to others. And actually it is important that I do prioritize myself a little bit, because well, he says that I'm the main cog of the engine of the family, and if the main cog goes, the whole machine breaks. So he made me see that it's important to grab some me time. And when it comes to chores, yes, there are always chores, but me and Mike are very much a team when it comes to that. We have our set jobs, but we do help each other out, and actually Mike goes above and beyond and probably does more of the chores than even I do. He's brilliant. And yes, the children take a lot, but the children do know that after our evening meal, once we've got our evening routine done and dusted, we all need to take just an hour or two for ourselves to do what we enjoy, just so that we go to bed feeling relaxed and happy and ready to face another day. So actually the children, they have their me time alongside me having mine, and then when they are all in bed, I get extra me time as well on top of that. So yeah. Amanda Williamson, what TV programs do you like to watch? So just going to take a quick drink of my tea. I used to watch a lot of television before I found YouTube. Now my life is mainly taken up with YouTube, because even though I am trying to keep on top of everyone's videos, I am very behind on everyone's videos. And there's not enough hours in the day to watch all your brilliant content as soon as you release it. So I will watch it. It will just be later than when you post it. Myself and Mike do try and grab some time to watch TV. It's mainly a movie, because a movie is, you know, just a couple of hours, you know, rather than a whole teleseries. Although speaking of teleseries, not the last Christmas, the Christmas just gone, the Christmas before, I actually bought Mike a poster, and it's 100 box sets recommended for you to watch on like a bucket list thing, and it's got them all on the poster. And when you've watched the whole box set, you can scratch it off, and you need to scratch all 100 panels to complete the poster. So when we do have some TV time, and when we are interested in starting a new series, we'll pick something off of that poster in order for Mike to scratch it off, as he sees it as a personal challenge to complete the poster. Recent ones that we've really enjoyed are The Crown. We loved The Vikings. We loved Orange is the New Black. We loved, I'm just trying to think, The Walking Dead. We've literally just finished Downton Abbey. Oh my goodness, absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait for the new Downton Abbey movie to come out. It's coming out on the 18th of March in cinemas here, and my birthday is the 22nd of March, so I bet you can guess what I asked Mike for my birthday. We're going to the cinema to watch that. So yes, it's really what takes our fancy, but at the moment we are trying to work through that poster. But we have quite a broad range of interest. We've, you know, things from like David Attenborough's Planet series, and, you know, all about his documentaries and about the earth and things like that. We like those. Basically everything and anything we do like our TV. Now the beautiful and lovely NonnaGrace, I hope I said that right, she asked me, how long is your hair? And then when I did my videos last week, when I had my hair down, so it comes to about here, she said, oh, well, you've answered my question. So I said, well, ask me another one. And she said, well, maybe you could say how long your hair's ever been, how often you get it cut, things like that. So about 2 years ago, my hair was practically down to my belly button. It was super long. And when I get my hair cut at the hairdressers, they tell me that my hair is so thick that I have enough hair on my head for about 3 people to have a wig made for them. So it's incredibly thick and it takes a lot of effort to wash and to dry and to style, which is why most of the time you'll see me in just a simple ponytail, because that's the easiest way for me to just get up, put my hair in a ponytail, get dressed, crack on with the day. So yes, I had it down to my belly button, and then 2 years ago I had it like chopped up to here, and then every 10 to 12 weeks I will get it trimmed, and just all the dead ends taken off, and to keep it this length because then it is long enough to tie in a ponytail, as you can see. It's actually due a cut on the 10th of March, so when it's been cut there will probably be about another, I don't know, couple of inches taken off. Sorry, just rearranging myself, do apologise. Yes, so I get my hair cut every 10 to 12 weeks, and it's just easier. I used to dye my hair a lot when I was younger, and right up until I met Mike actually, but I just can't be bothered anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. Yes, I have grey hair. Yes, I'm only 34. I started going grey when I was 18, but I'm just going to grow old gracefully or disgracefully, however the mood takes me, and I'm not going to bother dyeing my hair anymore. My hair obviously wants to start going grey and white, so I'm just going to let it. So yes, I try and keep it at a more manageable level because then it's easier to wash and style and to keep maintained. Maureen Youngblood, you ask, how long have you been married? Now, you might have noticed in the answer to Linda's question that yes, I am married, and technically I am still married. I met the boy's dad, I believe, in 2006. We got married in 2011. And then our marriage dissolved in 2017. It was his decision. It was his decision to call time on the marriage and to leave the family home. He wanted a divorce, and that was the road that I went down. I still haven't managed to secure my divorce, therefore technically I am still married to him. We have been separated and living separately now for 4 years, since 2017, so 4 coming up 5 years. Within a few months of him leaving me, he became engaged to somebody else, and he now lives with her, and he is much happier with her. And I met Mike, and we live together, and we are much happier. So we have completely separate lives to each other. There is none. The only part of the marriage that still stands is that it's a legal contract that hasn't been ended yet, hasn't been terminated yet. Yes, we are technically still married, but we are very much not together anymore, and we never will be again. And yes, so I was married for a little while, and no, I will not be getting married again. Like I said, my parents are my heroes, and I said if I was going to get married, I was only ever going to do it the once, and I was going to do it until death us do part. I didn't get that option, and I don't want to go down that road again. Sorry if I've made anyone feel uncomfortable. I'm not. I'm perfectly happy. It's cool. It's just how life went. If you had asked me those questions, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, probably would have been a different response, but it was the best thing for us to separate. It was hard on the boys, but the boys are perfectly fine and happy again now. Their daddy's got his new girlfriend, and they've got a stepsister in that relationship, and I'm now with Mike, and they've got a stepsister in this relationship. So they've actually gained 2 sisters, and they've got their parents much happier than what they were when they were together, and that to me is the main thing. Noreen Lou, what is your all-time favourite book? Well, I used to be an absolutely avid reader. I used to read all the time. I used to have an awful habit of having 2 or 3 books going at the same time, just to chop and change it, whatever mood I was in as to what book I would read. Used to drive my mum absolutely crackers. And I do try and read now and again, especially if I'm finding it hard to go to sleep. I do find that helping before bed helps me feel sleepy and get to sleep quicker. There are lots of amazing books out there, lots of amazing authors. I really struggle with questions like this to pin it down to just one. I suppose one of the major ones, the books that I keep going back to time and time again, are the Harry Potter books. I can read them and I can watch the films over and over again of those, and I think J.K. Rowling was just phenomenal in that series of books. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Harry Potter books. My favourite Harry Potter book is The Goblet of Fire. Roaming with Rover, was that you that won on the other channel? Yes, Robin, it was. I won a giveaway prize on Crochet Rocks. I think it's Tracy. I'll link her down in the description as well. Unfortunately, she had a bit of a tough time when Storm Eunice hit, and she hasn't managed to get my prize in the post yet, but she assures me it will be coming soon and she'll be getting in the post soon. And obviously when it comes, I will do a video showing you what I won from Tracy. Christy Dorr, what is your favourite food? Now, just before my marriage broke down, I was a lot bigger. I used to be a massive foodie and I used to be a lot heavier. Food was everything to me. It was my comfort. It was my constant. It was the only thing that I could rely on to always be there. When my marriage dissolved, I actually lost 4 to 5 stone within 3 months, which is not a healthy way to lose weight. And I didn't do it very healthily either. For the interests of honesty, I basically really didn't eat in the first few months after my husband left. I would just survive on cups of tea and cigarettes. And I lost a lot of weight very quickly. I've put some of it back on again. I've put about 2 of it back on again. But I'm okay with how I am at the minute. Obviously, everyone has issues with their body and how they look and, you know, self-image and things like that. But I am at a weight that I can maintain. So I think this is the weight that I'm meant to be. But favourite food, it's got to be a classic English roast. I love my roast dinners, especially my Christmas roast. That is my ultimate favourite meal. I really enjoy Italian food. I really enjoy Mexican food. I really enjoy Indian food. I just really enjoy food. But yeah, my favourite has to be a roast. Another favourite meal of mine is a fillet of salmon with some salad, some new potatoes, and then hollandaise sauce. That's another favourite meal of mine. But it would probably be, you know, if I was going out, it would probably be something like a lasagna or a pasta dish or burger and chips. Chips to us, this side of the pond, is your fries, but they're not as thin as your fries. They're fatter than your fries, but it is fried potato, and it's not your chips, which to us are crisps. Now I've probably just completely confused you, so ignore all of that. Okay. So Cr4ftym00 Sarah, my other giveaway winner last time, she received her parcel and did a video. If you still haven't gone over to subscribe to her, please do. I will put her channel link down in the description box, and let's share the love to her. She asked what is my favourite food to eat. So I'll just extend what I said about the roast and things like that. I am more savoury person than I am sweet, so you're more likely to find me eating savoury snacks and savoury food than you will sweets and chocolate and cake and things like that, although they're very lovely too. What is your favourite perfume? So my all-time favourite perfume is DKNY, and I always forget, is it Be Delicious or So Delicious? It's the ones that look like an apple, and you can get a green one, a red one, and a pink one. I love all 3, doesn't matter which scent of that one I get given. That is one of my favourite perfumes. But the one that Mike got me for Christmas this year, again, I don't know how to say it. I think it's Pepe Jeans, Pepejeans. And it's their tropical one. It looks like a little cocktail martini glass, and it's super, super fruity, and it just reminds me of holidays abroad and tropical fruit and things like that, and cocktails. It's absolutely gorgeous, so I really like that one as well. And she also asks, where has your best favourite holiday been? So I've been on several holidays. I've been lucky enough to holiday both in the UK and abroad. There are 2 holidays that stick out for me. One was when I was about between the ages of 12 and 14, I can't remember exactly, we went to visit my godmother who lives in Canada. We went around Christmas time. We went to Niagara Falls, and Niagara Falls was all frozen and it was all lit up. It was absolutely beautiful, and the snow was just so high up off the street. I mean, you were probably walking like 6 foot above where the actual pavement was, and the houses all decorated for Christmas, like driving along and seeing the Christmas lights. It was just beautiful and magical and like something out of a fairy tale, and it always sticks in my mind because it was just so different to every other holiday I had been on, and it was everything the magic of Christmas could and should be. So there's that one. And another favourite holiday of mine is completely different, and it was one recently. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. Mike and I took all 4 children camping. We drove to the very north part of Wales you can get, which is, if you just go across the river, you'd be in Liverpool. We went camping and we had such a blast and such a lovely, lovely time. I don't want to go into too many details because otherwise we'd be talking about my holiday for the next 10 minutes. But it was one of our first holidays as just me, Mike and the 4 children. I am not a camping fan. In fact, I detest camping, but because we were all together, it was just lovely. And it was going back to basics, you know, playing cricket and rounders and card games and football and you know, just being on a campsite. There was no electronics really. There was no TV, Xboxes. Yes, we had our phones, but we weren't on them very often. We were literally just all playing board games, doing colouring, seeing, you know, the sights of Wales. It was absolutely lovely. So that is a very fond holiday of mine. Delphine's Handcrafted asks, what type are the most fun for your vacations or vacation spots? So sort of similar to Sarah's. I love an abroad holiday. I love to just be on a sun lounger under a big brolly next to a swimming pool, smelling of sun cream, drinking cocktails, all inclusive, as much food and drink as I like, reading a book, doing my crochet, watching my children play in the pool. You know, watching some really good cheesy entertainment and things like that. That is my ultimate holiday for me. Just complete relax, chill, do hardly anything. Bliss to me. That is my favourite type of vacation to take. And most of my vacations that I have loved have been mainly sort of Spain and in Europe. Okay. Dusty Cat asks, who is your favourite author? Again, I can't pinpoint just one. There are lots of amazing authors out there. But J.K. Rowling is up there. So I'll just repeat that. That's you know, one of my definite top 10. I love to crochet, who is my lovely Tank. Hi, Tank. Do you have bad weather there often? Well, Tank, it's England, it's the UK. It is mainly damp, windy, rainy a lot of the time. It is not the country you want to live in if you want sun or anything like that. And I actually live in a valley, so I live on a hill and the other side is another hill, so I live, you know, kind of in the dip there. And when the wind howls through there and the rain and everything, winters are quite bleak and quite wet. So but the weather we had with Storm Eunice, we don't get a bad storm like that very often, but when we do get a storm, we get a storm. It's not a hurricane or a tornado or anything like that, but because we're not used to it very often, that's why it is more of a big deal, because we don't actually know how to navigate storms and bad weather like that. So yes, we're used to rain and wind and dull and we don't get a lot of sun, but we don't get bad weather like that often, no. Surfer Joe's Girl, what is your favourite item to crochet? It chops and changes with my mood, if I'm being completely honest with you. I can be totally obsessed one minute with making key rings, and then the next minute I can be totally obsessed with making zippered purses. The next time I could be absolutely obsessed with making my bats for the church. It literally just depends on what mood I'm in. If I really enjoy the crochet that I'm making, I do tend to make more than one. If it's small things, if it's big things, I just take my time and savor, you know, every stitch of the bigger project that I'm enjoying to make. But I'm a bit of a faddy crocheter, to be honest. I will see what everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, you know, the latest pattern, the latest technique, the newest way of doing something, and I think, well, I want to give it a go to see if I can do it. Sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's not. But I don't have like a set thing. Like, I'm not one of those crafters who only do wearables or only do amigurumi or only do this. I am a little bit of everything, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of the other. Give it a go, give it a try, have a whirl, and I either enjoy making it or I don't. So I don't know if that answered your question or not really, but I just love crochet, and most types of crochet, and anything I can crochet, I will try it out. Kenna Roberts, what are your favourite items to crochet and what yarn? Well, I kind of answered the favourite things to crochet with Surfer Joe Girls question. I used to be mainly DK weight was my go-to. All this top shelf of my unit, apart from these are just, I can't fit them anywhere else. But the rest of the top 4 boxes are DK. DK was my go-to. It was what I learnt with. And it was always the weight that I could find in abundance. But I am absolutely loving Aran. I'm not gonna lie, the slightly thicker yarn is much easier to work with, and can produce, you know, results quicker, because obviously it works up quicker. Never had cakes until I sorry, let me just, I don't even know if I can pause. I don't think I can. Oh dear. So we're just going to talk over the answer phone. Oh, it's about my son's glasses. I think his glasses are ready to be collected. So yes, DK was my go-to weight. Then I became a big fan of Aran weight. And then when I started this YouTube channel, I absolutely fell in love with cakes and things like that. So it just varies, and it depends what yarn the project calls for. I am quite happy to use whatever yarn the pattern calls for. And like I said, I'm doing a shawl with one of these at the moment, and it's a 4-ply and it's only a 2 weight, and I've never used it before, and although it's quite fiddly, I am actually enjoying it. So yes, so that is that one. That answer phone is going to beep the whole time. Okay, this is embarrassing. Right, let's try and get through these a bit quicker. So Maribel is hooked. Do you have siblings and do they live close by? Maribel, I've answered this, but you are still included in the giveaway. Yes, one brother, 2 years younger, lives 5 to 10 minutes away from me. We're not close, but we see each other at family events and occasions. Gail Christman, do you keep the stuff that I make? Sometimes if I've made it for myself, sometimes if I fall in love with it and nobody else wants it, of course I will keep it. But mostly the things that I make are for gifts for other people, and I prefer making things to give to others. So mostly I give it away or it's presents for somebody. Sally Horner, where does the word Mantha come from? So my full name is Samantha. My dad either calls me Manth or Mantha, which is the middle part of Samantha. So that's where Mantha comes from. It's just a nickname my dad's always called me. And because he's my hero and because I love him lots and because it's different, that's why I chose that to be my channel name. Yes, so that's where Mantha comes from. It's just the middle part of Samantha. Diana, what stitch do you use to save yarn, which is not a yarn eater? Now, actually, I don't have a lot, even though I've been crocheting for 7 years, most of the time it was in between working, in between children, didn't have as much time back then as I do now to crochet. So actually, I need that answer as well. I don't have the answer to that. I don't have enough experience to give you an answer on that one, I'm afraid. If any of you other lovelies that watch my channel have an answer for Diana, please feel free to put it down in the comments. I have heard that waffle stitch is a yarn eater, and to avoid waffle stitch, if you don't want to use too much yarn, I would assume the bigger the stitch, the more yarn you use. So yeah, I don't really know, Diana, sorry about that. I don't really do a lot of blankets or a lot of big items as such. So I am trying to find the answer to that question as well as you, I'm afraid, sorry. Wynette 1964, where in England do you live? I live in Cornwall. So Cornwall, if you look at the UK map, I'm right down here at the bottom. So Scotland's at the top and I'm down here at the bottom, and you've got Wales here and Ireland over there. Yes, so I live in Cornwall. Well, actually I live more on the Devon-Cornwall border. You go through Devon and cross the bridge and you're in Cornwall, and I live about 5 minutes drive from that bridge, which is about 2 to 3 miles from that bridge. So I'm only just inside Cornwall. I grew up in Devon, went across the border as an adult, and that's now where I live. Very beautiful, lovely coast. I don't live on the coast, but I live about 30 minutes away from the coast, so not too far. And the last one, OR Cinnamon Girl, what is your favourite item to crochet? Again, I believe I've answered this question. It just whatever takes my fancy at the time, really. You will still be included in the giveaway. Right, so that is my 23 questions. That beeping is driving me mental, and I'm sorry if it's driving you mad as well. Trust me to get a phone call right when I'm filming. So we are already at 50 minutes, nearly an hour. So let's wrap this up, shall we? Thank you so much for my questions. I hope I have answered them okay. I did not write answers to the questions, which I can prove here. I've literally just written the question. I have not prepared any answers whatsoever. It's just what's come out of my mouth, which is a lot of waffle, clearly, with it being over 50 minutes. But yes, so if ever you guys want a question or an answer to a question, then feel free, put it in the comments, give me an email, I don't mind. And maybe we can do another one of these in a few months when you've got to know me a little bit better, and maybe there'll be more questions in the future that you'd like answers to, so maybe we'll do it again. Anyway, so the giveaway. Why am I doing a giveaway? Purely because I want to. I want to spread the love and give back to all you lovelies that continue to come and watch, and all you lovelies who find me and decide to stay. I really, really do appreciate it. I always appreciate a like, I always appreciate a comment, and I always appreciate you subscribing and hitting the bell to all so that you watch every video when I upload. However, you may be like me and you may not be able to watch it as soon as it uploads, and that's absolutely fine. But I do appreciate any time you take to watch little old me. So now we've got that out the way, let's get on to the giveaway. So the goodness of my heart, I just want to give you a little bit of a present because I felt bad that not everyone could win last time, and I just, like I said, I just want to share. So the first thing I'm giving away is this. You may recognize this. I made one of the cowls for the Twisted Fibre friends. One ball will make one of those cowls. There are 320 yards or 290 meters. It's 98% acrylic, 2% viscose, 4mm knitting needles. It can be washed up to 40 degrees Celsius. Do not iron. You can cool, tumble dry. It's 100 grams, made in Turkey, color licorice. Take a breath. Big value tweed double knitting by King Cole, and I have one of those, so that will be in the giveaway. And then I have one of these. They were in my mystery bags from Hobby, centre pull. I thought maybe you might like to make a shawl or something similar, so I am giving you one of these, as I was given 4. I do not need 4. I'm currently working on one. You guys can have one. And I did find out that they are the Sultan King's Shadow, and it is 100% cotton. There's no label on it because it came in a mystery bag, and it's given to you how it came to me, but there's nothing wrong. None of it has been used. It is still brand new, ready to go, and all intact. I have one of these tape measures to give to you where you just pull it, press a button, and it retracts with a lovely little strawberry on the front. I am going to give you this shawl pin. So if you do decide to make a shawl out of that yarn, you've got a lovely little pin to put in your finished item. And then I have a notebook and pen as well. There might be another couple of little goodies in there, but I am not going to show you those. That will be a surprise for the person that wins. So after everything that has been said and done today, let's get round to finding out who the winner is. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. I do have a cat and I do have a dog. My yarn is kept up on my units and the cat does not interfere with the yarn at all. However, as you can imagine, them being furry creatures, their fur does come off and it does shed, and I cannot help if fur flies into the wool unit. I have tried to make sure that there is no cat fur on these yarns, but I cannot 100% guarantee that. So if you are allergic to cats, please say so, and I will have to redraw and give to somebody who doesn't mind having these yarns. They smell absolutely fine, because also I am a smoker. I do not smoke in my house. I smoke outside. I wash my hands before I ever touch any of my yarn. So there are no cigarette smells because that is outside and my yarn is kept inside, but I do have animals. So if you have allergies, then, you know, maybe this giveaway isn't for you. And I'm only telling you that out of pure honesty. So there's those and those and those. So I had 23 questions. So Alexa, please pick a random number between 1 and 23.
Here's a number between 1 and 23. It's 1.
It's 1. So the winner is the lovely Ursula from OMGrannySquare. So Ursula, if you would like to claim your prize, please email me. My email will be down in the description box. I am more than happy to send it to where you are in the lovely South Africa. And congratulations, well done. That's absolutely awesome. If you would like to pass your prize on to somebody else, let me know and I can redraw and let that winner know. But if you do want my stuff, then you are more than welcome and we will get that sorted. So if you could please email me within 7 days, that would be absolutely great. So it's Saturday the 26th today, so it will be the following Saturday, and I don't have a calendar handy, so I'm going to try and quickly work that out in my head. So it would be the 27th on Sunday, the 28th on Monday, the 1st on Tuesday, 2nd on Wednesday, 3rd on Thursday, 4th on Friday, so 5th, the 5th of March. If you can email me before the 5th of March, that would be absolutely great. And then I can get them packaged up and sent in the mail to you. So well done, Ursula. Just a side note, Ursula, I absolutely appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate all the tips and tricks that you try and give me. You were one of the first people that I found on YouTube and you have really taken me under your wing ever since. I do class you as a friend and I appreciate everything you do for everybody in the yarny community, whether they're a content creator or not. You are absolutely amazing and I think I'm actually... I've got a lot to thank you for. So even if it's just these few little things, then thank you. I wish it could be much more, but there we go. So Ursula at OMGrannySquare, you have won my giveaway. Email me in 7 days and I'll get it out to you, my lovely. Now I have kept you for the best part of an hour. Don't forget, I've got something exciting coming up with Christina at Bella Uncinetto regarding this. And I will be back with another video soon. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, please hit the bell and feel free to share me if you so wish. And also remember the lovely Amy at Cr4ftym00 if you would like similar or the same as these wonderful earrings that I have got. So until I see you again, have a lovely rest of your weekend and I love you all very, very much. Bye.